Hello everybody, I am Sleep Buccaneer, and this is another theory video that I was so excited on doing that I wound up skipping parts 2, 3, and 4, strictly to get this out. I'm going to talk about my theory on the Master of Masters without a doubt, but I wanted to get this one up first because it was on my mind for the longest. Before I hop on this train, thank you for checking this video out. I hope you get something out of this, like maybe a new question or perspective on a familiar character. If you want, you can check out my first theory video where I talk about the roles of the foretellers, but you're not obligated to do so as it doesn't relate to the discussion we're about to have. So today, I'm offering a theory on Terra and his true potential after Kingdom Hearts 3. Alright, so like before, I'm trying to stick to my time limit, so let me get to the point. Terra from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is sort of a controversial character in his own right. The Kingdom Hearts community has some mixed feelings for him, and it's actually a little disappointing for me, but that's probably because I saw something in him that had real potential when I was doing some research to catch up to speed on the story, especially when considering the Key, Unchained Key, and Union Cross universe. Now, you might argue that I'm just some fangirl trying to defend her buff baby, but I'm going to go ahead and squash that because I no longer really have a favorite character in Kingdom Hearts anymore. I used to be head over heels for Sora, but I can't keep up with his evolution anymore. And unless Kingdom Hearts 3 brings back the boy I fell in love with in a way that isn't absolute trash, that opinion will remain standing. Don't laugh at me. That's not the point of this video, however. The purpose of this video is to explain how Terra has the most potential out of everyone else who could wield a Keyblade to be the next Master of Masters for Sora's generation of Keyblade warriors. When I say everyone else, I'm including all the characters we know so far, like Master Yen Sid and Master Ericus and so on. Personally, I don't think anyone from the Dandelions following after the Keyblade War will have the same amount of potential that Terra has right now, given the information and situation we're in with those ongoing updates. But I also hope that no one else will, because that'll just squander Terra's potential character development, and it's been done enough with the constant retconning of Master Xehanort. Regardless, it'll just get downright annoying should it happen. But anyway, honestly, this is another theory that I was hesitant on, like my first one, because I wasn't sure I had enough information to go on. I started off with a simple opinion. Oh, the Master of Masters has this, that, and the other power or ability? Wait a minute, there's another character in the Kingdom Hearts universe with the same ability, and it's not Xehanort. So what gives with all these ridiculous connections? Am I missing something? Like I always do? With this one story? Really? All of these frustrating details and theories brought me to this point. So let's start off with a little bit of Kingdom Hearts back cover and key. The Master of Masters at some point in his life was able to gain the ability of foresight, aka seeing into the future. Naturally, I give a sigh at this because nothing good can come from that, but that's a topic for another day. My guess is that something led him to wanting to find out the location of Kingdom Hearts, and whatever transpired within those years of searching led him to not only finding it, but the fabled Keyblade. Here's where it gets fishy. I'm not sure if this is a thing because we don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts in full detail, but I believe Kingdom Hearts is capable of granting certain people who meet a particular level of power or strength of heart an ability or an assortment of abilities that separates them from the rest of human civilization. Physically, Kingdom Hearts has only granted 2 people throughout all of the game's history an ability worthy of higher status as opposed to the average warrior or human: the Master of Masters and Terra. So let's quickly take a look at some of the powers that the Master of Masters has. The Master has the following abilities as said throughout the entire Key universe: Foresight, Creation, and Erasure of Memory. These 3 abilities also include his actual combat skills. And according to Master Yen Sid from Dream Drop Distance, Master Xehanort does have some level of foresight, but I think it's strictly limited to the power his Keyblade possesses. Remember, his Keyblade is the most ancient and has the Master of Masters' eye within its blade. Should one touch it, I assume that the ability of foresight and the knowledge that the Master of Masters had would pass down to whoever wields it. This is assuming that anyone who already had potential to wield a Keyblade can touch it. Excuse me. Now, I don't think Kingdom Hearts granted Master Xehanort any powers. Otherwise, there'd be no point in trying to gain full access to it because he would have already had something no one else can easily obtain. In fact, I believe most of his abilities and knowledge came from No Name itself, and the rest of his abilities and knowledge came from research and his own adventures over time. If you recall, Xehanort as an apprentice in Radiant Garden was heavily invested in the sciences, namely the mysteries of the heart, and he always had a profound curiosity of the history and mystery surrounding the Keyblade as a whole, which includes the war and the predecessors of his master. I think his curiosity finally led him to wanting to search for Kingdom Hearts, like the Master of Masters, and it's possible that his curiosity resurrected the power within the Masters of Masters' eye. When that happened, I can only imagine that Xehanort was chosen to wield No Name by his master, because No Name reacted most to him. Right now, everyone else thinks Lucia is Ericus, Xehanort, and Yensid's master. I, however, disagree on the grounds of timeline errors, but that's a detail I'm sure will get explained in another update. Heaven forbid we find out that Xehanort existed in the Key universe too. Okay, returning to the Master of Masters and his powers, his eye is a looming detail in this theory of mine. I don't think the Eye of Darkness is his literal eye, but I do think it's a fragment of the power and knowledge he gained from Kingdom Hearts when he came within vicinity or contact of it. If you look at all of the Keyblades with the Eye of Darkness, you can easily tell that there are way too many eyes going around. Unless the Master of Masters is some giant humanoid mutant fly, that's already suspicious, but that's why I say that those eyes aren't literally eyes. In fact, I believe that No Name might be the only Keyblade containing not only the power the Master received from Kingdom Hearts, but his mind's eye. So let me give you a brief description of the mind's eye, since it actually has many definitions. A good description of the mind's eye is a person's mental capacity or ability to learn about the physical world around them through their understanding of a relevant object, event, or scene without physically being present to observe that object, event, or scene using their natural senses. In the last scene, the Master of Masters explains to Lucia that his eye is within No Name, and that Lucia's role is to take it to the Badlands where the Keyblade War is supposed to take place. Like everyone else, I kind of just accepted this, until I questioned why the Master would need to do that. My guess is that because he saw the world's destruction through the power of Kingdom Hearts, he wanted to be able to physically see if the vision he was given was true. But there must be something that Kingdom Hearts would do to him should he physically return to see the events occur himself. And there really is nothing stopping him from seeing the war transpire, so I propose that once Kingdom Hearts grants you some power, it must do one of two things. Either take it away or enhance it further. My guess is that Kingdom Hearts may take it away or do something to the Master that he feared would stop him from getting his answers. The best way to ensure his survival is to use his one mind's eye and fragment it into the different smaller eyes that you see. Each eye performs as a receptor of images from different perspectives, and his ability to create Keyblades is really him also fragmenting his mind so that the eyes can actually capture what the chosen wielders will be seeing in the physical realm. That's the only way I can surmise where he would be able to see the events of the war as shown through his visions without coming into contact with Kingdom Hearts again and having Kingdom Hearts strip him of his power. I don't know if your mind was blown by that. Okay, so now let me talk about Terra and his ability of foresight for a little bit. In Birth by Sleep, Terra is most notably able to see into the future twice, and I'm mostly going on my memory of the game and its cutscenes. The first time is when he speaks to Master Xehanort about Vanitas and Ventus at the Badlands. At first, I thought one needed to be directly in front of or exposed to Kingdom Hearts in order for the passing of higher power to work. But Birth by Sleep proved me wrong. It looks as though you merely need to be within range of it. If you notice, when Terra first started seeing visions of his future, he didn't immediately look up into the sky where Kingdom Hearts was really located. He was just surprised and confused by what he was seeing and dismissed it as nothing but an afterthought. See, that tells me that Terra met the requirements for Kingdom Hearts to pass down a fragment of its power. He just didn't realize it, and Aqua actually gave me a huge reason as to why Terra didn't react too strongly to the vision. When Xehanort reveals the location of Kingdom Hearts at the end, no one seemed to know that it was up there, and I don't think Master Ericus really told them about it. In fact, when you go through each character's story, every world they visit is new. It's nothing like Sora's or Riku's adventure, because once Sora and Riku visit a world and spend a significant amount of time in it with the citizens of that world, They remember a decent chunk of information from everyone and everything. Only Ventus had ever been in the Badlands or a world outside of the land of departure prior to his arrival at the land of departure. And this is an annoying thought too, but since Master Xehanort was really determined on getting Terra's body so he could further his plans to gain access to Kingdom Hearts, it could be possible that he has the ability to inject others with visions. In the beginning of Birth by Sleep, you're just feeling out the characters to see who you'd like to play as first, essentially. With that being said, only one major detail is needed from the beginning of Birth by Sleep to show the level of power Terra was at, in, or on. Terra's ability to suppress darkness. You have to read Master Xehanort's reports to get a full understanding of this portion here, but Master Xehanort caused the darkness in Terra to flare up during the Mark of Mastery exam, and Terra, though surprised and distracted, shut it down instantly. He didn't use more of it, he didn't get controlled by it and go crazy, and he didn't throw it away somewhere to let it manifest into something dangerous, as cool as that would have been. He just extinguished it. That's an impressive amount of power and will to have without the title of Master under your belt. Terra's also been described as the most powerful of the three friends, so he does show a multitude of promises as a warrior. So let's look at the second time Terra begins to see visions of the future. During his visit to Destiny Islands, he senses a strong light in Riku and performs a bequeathing ceremony of sorts. While Riku's talking, Terra sees the little boy turn into young Xehanort and then to Riku's future self within the next 11 years, after the events of Birth by Sleep. Alright, well anyway, for Terra, his level of foresight is shown to be within range of a few weeks to a little over a decade into the future. Again, I'm not sure how long the Master of Masters had his foresight abilities, but if it's anything like Terra's range, then that means the Master of Masters knew about the Keyblade War from anywhere between a few weeks to several years. This may not seem like a significant thing, but I want to take a moment and revisit Xehanort's reports. Xehanort claimed he visited many worlds, learned how to control the darkness over time, and gained a vast amount of knowledge throughout his journey. By the time he finds Ventus and sees Terra and Aqua, Xehanort is most notably an older man, and neither Terra nor Aqua knows anything about their master's old comrade, or Ventus. Xehanort detected the darkness within Terra upon meeting him, though reported 4 years prior to the events in Birth by Sleep. So that tells me he didn't actually foresee ever needing Terra beforehand. If Xehanort had the power of foresight at all, I think he would have kept a much closer eye on Terra long before bringing Ventus to Ericus. But he was notably gone and traveling to different places by the time Ericus became heir to the wielder's throne and started training his own pupils. Coupled with the fact that he was so focused on Ventus, Xehanort really doesn't have foresight or any significant power from Kingdom Hearts. Terra, however, was different. Now I move on to other reasons for Terra's real potential. As a character, Terra possesses a very charming quality about him and is fairly influential on others. His interactions with Aqua and Ventus show he's more of a big brother to them, and he will gladly sacrifice everything for them like a father would his children, or even a big brother would his younger siblings if he felt that strongly for them. Even when Terra travels to other worlds, he inspires others to follow their hearts and dreams. Yes, he does have his negatives, which is where the divide between Kingdom Hearts community members and fans is drawn. But overall, he really doesn't do anything remotely anti-hero-like or villainous. In fact, he seems to have such a presence in the lives of others that he inspires them to do more even after he's gone. If you think about Riku and what he said about Terra in Dream Drop Distance, Terra left a lasting impression on Riku and made him remember who exactly pushed his ambitions to become stronger further. You can also think back to Zack in the Olympus Coliseum. He developed a sort of idolization for Terra, just as the townspeople did. I say all of this because of the influence the Master of Masters left on his pupils. His apprentices follow every living, breathing word this man speaks. And he also seems to be a father figure to them, even outside an era. That kind of presence lives on in Terra, and I think Terra has potential to be a very distinguished and loving sort of teacher for younger generations. Ooh, man. My third reason behind Terra's true potential would have to be related to his tragedy at the end of the game. Two major things happen to him. One, he gets possessed by Xehanort, and sent to Radiant Garden at the last minute from the blast of the Keyblade's creation. Aqua has to fight not only Terra Nort, but also his guardian. Remember when I said Terra suppresses darkness fairly rapidly and didn't just toss it somewhere so it could hatch like a chick in a chocolate Easter egg? Well, I think Terra's darkness ultimately engulfed Ericus's heart in his final moments, but not in a harmful way. In fact, I think Terra's darkness instead became an outlet of his fear, and Terra in the middle of his fight to keep his body for those few seconds maybe sensed the familiar presence within himself. In feeling that warm light in the darkness, his darkness in the form of fear went to it and discovered Ericus like a frightened child would a father after being lost in a dark place. Perhaps out of regret and caution, the last remaining will of Master Ericus was to protect Terra from Xehanort's full control, should his former comrade be so dastardly as to harm his pupil. In theory, I believe Terra's darkness gave Ericus's last will a physical form as the Guardian, the same way his actual lingering will possessed his Keyblade armor. This is a form of creation through the strongest and last remaining wills of two fairly powerful people. I could include the emblem Heartless and Nobodies as part of Terra's possible creation abilities, but I think Xehanort had more of an influence in that regard. So for now, I won't add these enemy variants as part of Terra's powers. My final thing with Terra's potential would have to be the level of strength he gains over time as part of, his more higher power. By the end of the game, Terra stops at the level of the lingering will. That secret boss that everyone who's ever played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, anyone who's ever played that secret boss that is hard to beat, the secret boss where the only way you could beat him is to use a cheese method. To have all that potential in you, and you have to go through this crazy process of a journey. To me, I don't know. It seems like, I don't even know how to put this, but to have gained all that power over time. Matter of fact, it's not even over that much time. It's only over maybe anywhere between a few weeks to a few months. I don't know what the actual timeline of the story is, but it can't be that long. So I don't know. Just to be able to have gained all that power in such a short amount of time, even though you failed the exam. But it's possible that even though he failed the exam, there's a chance that he could have learned something new to maybe reevaluate his level of mastery. That's something that can happen. That would be a much more definitive way of evaluating your potential. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, with all that said, that's all I actually got. I hope this piqued your interest and maybe got your brain juices flowing. Yay. I highly doubt anything in this video will be the case in the Kingdom Hearts lore, but I think the theory is an interesting topic. Now, if you don't mind, I've got homework to do. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you for clicking on this video, and have a nice day.
Put your fists into the air and raise a rebel yell. There's lots of bad ones out there.